Federal Reserve slashed interest rates this morning. What impacts that had on Australian shares?
Annalise, Australian shares have reacted very negatively to the news. The ASX 200 is down more than 7% in the first 15 minutes of trading. It's quite an extraordinary drop. Just a couple of hours ago, the US Federal Reserve cut interest rates by almost a full percentage point. Their interest rate is now 0.25%, which is the lowest ever. And the US Federal Reserve said it would inject $700 billion into the economy in the form of treasury bonds and mortgage-backed securities. But that hasn't been enough to appease investors in Australia. We've seen our stock market absolutely collapse this morning. And investors in America, futures market for American shares is showing their stocks will open 5% lower when they begin trading later tonight. So it has had a very poor impact on our market. Take a listen to President Donald Trump speaking just a short time ago about the Federal Reserve and its moves to cut interest rates.
For starters, they've lowered the Fed rate from what it was, which was 1 to 1.25, and it's been lowered down to 0 to 0.25, 4.25. So it's 0 to 0.25. That's a big difference. It's quite a bit, about a point. And in addition, very importantly, the Federal Reserve is going to be purchasing $500 billion of treasuries and $200 billion of mortgage-backed securities.
So the US Federal Reserve announced it was cutting rates this morning, and so did the Reserve Bank of New Zealand. They have cut interest rates from 1% to just 0.25% today as well. Now there's speculation mounting that the Reserve Bank of Australia may need to cut interest rates as well. Before its meeting next month, obviously it cut rates just on the first week of this month, and it may need to cut rates again potentially today or tomorrow by 25 more basis points to bring our cash rate down to 0.25%. And once we get to that level, the Reserve Bank will then need to introduce quantitative easing, which is what the US Federal Reserve is currently doing at the moment, Annalise. So pretty rocky time ahead here for interest rates and investors.
They did say it would never happen, but we are in unprecedented times. Ed Boyd, thank you for the business update. We'll check in with you again soon.